What is up, guys? Yoshio here. I got you a tank review on Tier 4 Israeli main battle tank, the Magach 5. Now, this is a long-awaited one because I did this one in the mini-series, the Israeli Walk. So we're going to go in depth for this tank. So with that, we're going to go right to the stats. So here we go. Okay, so the damage is 420. The penetration is 310 millimeters. The damage spread is 3,281. The reload time is 7.68 seconds. The maximum speed is 50 kilometers an hour. Now, it will not reach that top speed under its own power as of recording this video, but it will need to go downhill for that to happen. The 0 to 32 kilometer rate is 82.8 seconds. The vehicle mass is 50,700 kilograms. That's heavier than leopard 1. The hold divergence is 30.55 degrees. The camouflage is 12% across the board. The range on the move is 410 meters. The cannon temperature is minus 9 degrees down, which is great, but it's plus 4 degrees up, which is not bad. The minimum spread is 0.139 degrees. The aim time is 1.81 seconds, and the turn reverse is 39.48 degrees. So with that, we're going to go right into the ammo. Unfortunately, for this tank, there's only 2 types of ammo. So with that, we're going to go right to the ammo. So I will see you then. Hopefully, you enjoyed the rest of this video. For the AP ammo, the salvo size is 1. The damage is 378 to 462. The penetration is 310 millimeters. The speed is 1,475 meters per second. That's really fast. The minimum spread is 0.139 degrees. The aim time is 2.3 seconds, and the reload time is 9 seconds. So with that, we're going to go right into the highest for the squad set. So with that, I'll see you at that ammo type. For the AT ammo, the salvo size is the same. The damage is 94 to 632. The penetration is 230 millimeters. The ball threshold is 137 millimeters. The speed is 778 meters per second. That's really not bad for this ammo type. The minimum spread is 0.172 degrees. The aim time is 2.4 seconds. The reload time is 9 seconds. The maximum damage bonus is 25%. The fire chance bonus is 300%. And the bonus marginal damage is 35%. So with that, we're going to go right into the armor. What's going to be interesting about the armor is this is the stock armor you're going to see, but there's something added to it, which I'll explain in the gameplay. So with that, we'll go right into the armor. For the armor, the hit point is 2,650. The hull has 172 millimeters in the front, 96 in the sides, 53 in the rear. The hull composition is steel. The turret has 255 millimeters in the front, 140 in the sides, 57 in the rear. The turret composition is steel. So with that, we're going to go right to the gameplay. The one thing I'll mention is there's some things with it that actually helps out with this tank. It is actually very beneficial, and I'll explain why. So with that, we'll go right into the gameplay. If you have watched my mini-series called Israeli Walk, this was the last tank I did for the mini-series. Now, this tank, to this day, is actually still a good tank. It was a good tank when I did the mini-series, and it's still a good tank to this day. So, how do you play this tank? It's a borderline brawler at top tier, not so much at higher tiers like tier 5, tier 6. You're better off firing off at long range. Why is that? It's more or less because of the armor. The armor is actually pretty decent at tier 4. Not so much at tier 5 and 6. However, you can play well with this machine even though it's a little bit sluggish. What do I mean by sluggish? I mean by it's actually very slow on acceleration. It's not that good with acceleration. It's one of those drawbacks from the Magach 5. However, what's really good about this machine is also an M48A5, which actually does carry a 105mm gun. So, what's really neat about this tank is you can brawl with this machine. As you can tell, there's 2 Magach 5s on my team, including me, and there's an M60, a Terran 6, and an LV-150-90. I'm pretty sure the one for the LV-150-90 is a PS Plus member, which good on him. So, how I work well with the team here? Well, one thing for certain, you're not that fast for this machine. The one thing you gotta remember is you're not going fast. You're not without a doubt, you're not a armored fighting vehicle. You're not a tank destroyer. The speed is actually going to help you, but not the maximum speed. It's despite it being slow, it's still the gun is very accurate. So the one thing these villains are well known for is actually long-range gunnery. So you can take shots like this and take out enemies with no problem whatsoever. There are instances you can actually fire in third person and hit a target. Just like that. So it takes skill to fire at a tank at third person. It's less skill to do it in the what you call, I forget the view, but it's a bit easier that way. But it's a lot more challenging if you do it in third person. Now I'll put the Terrain 6 because I want to help him out. So Terrain 6 on its own, I may do a review on it in the future. But Terrain 6 is pretty much a TCT2, but it actually has something to it. But the Magach 5 in this case does have something going for it, which is explosive reactive armor. So it's actually one of the early tanks you get explosive reactive armor on, early as the Terrain 6 at Tier 3. Well, I will do a review on the Terrain 6 later on, because that was also part of the Israeli Rock video series, but it had 2 videos instead of 1. Where the Magach 5 and the rest of them got 1. So that being said, this tank is a beefcake. It's very well designed in its own right. So the one thing that I do recommend with this machine is to make sure you have your front towards enemy at all times. If you can't help that, there's enemies on the sides as well as enemies in the front, that's kind of unavoidable. It's understandable. Don't worry about it. Just point the front towards the most enemies as you can. So that's one tactic. The other tactic, it only works for most tiers like tier 5 and tier 6. You can go hold down this machine because it will handle very well as far as the turret is concerned. The turret is actually well rounded and sloped, so you can easily bounce if you need to. So that's the defense side. What about the armament? The 5mm gun, even though it does have 2 types of ammo, they both work very well in certain situations. The R-53 stabilized disguised ammo, which I'm using now, actually works very well at long range, especially medium to close range. But the high explosive squash head, you're better off using it on light armor targets like this APC, which I did kill with the nice miss. On this BMD-1, you can use high explosive squash head and you will one-shot it. So that's one thing you gotta consider, is make sure you use the right type of ammo for the right circumstances. And you probably can't use this on challenging difficulty. That's one of the takes I would recommend to use for challenging difficulty. I do not, unfortunately, have a life lesson for today. However, I will do a plug, and it's one of my things I'm doing now, is I do stream. I try to stream every night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I stream mainly Warzone. And I'm talking about Call of Duty Warzone. And as a matter of fact, I do challenges with my teammates just to make it a lot more entertaining. Because you want to get some entertainment value. If you want some entertainment, and I'm saying this as personal experience, come watch my streams. Because it's entertaining as it can get. And it's really funny because there are moments where we laugh at our misfortunes. Because we have to deal with these loadouts. And if you have a challenge in mind, don't hesitate to tell us in the chat. Because that's something we will do right away. And I can usually come up with very good challenges. So, with that, it's obvious I'm top of the team, which is understandable. But this is the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video. Comment on what you think of this video. If it helps you, let me know. I'll give you more tips if you need it. Also, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. That way you can get to the content first or when I stream. So with that, I'll catch you guys later on in the future. Guys, have a great day and stay safe out there, because this world is crazy.